Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Roaming Talk here at our Roaming Shot Range in Slaughter, Louisiana. Just got back from South Dakota at the ELR SO shooting competition, the Pro-Am. Of course, I was the Am, and we had a good time. Well, this is what this podcast will be about, just another rookie's perspective. So a couple months ago, got a call from Clay Roden. Clay is with Long Shot Cameras, guys. Y'all hear us talk about them all the time. Great product, from their Hawk to their the permanent mounts that we have here at the range. We bring the Hawk with us all the time. We bring the Ranger with us all the time, and then we have our 4-pack or 5-pack of the LR3s. If you want more information on those, get with us. We'll be happy to tell you about them. But yeah, we can watch everything from your iPad or iPhone, or like we have upstairs, our tablets that are permanently mounted. So great systems, great people, fast service. Anytime we have a down camera or anything like that, usually it's our own doing, but I can call them today and tomorrow I would have the product back in hand. So anyway, that's my plug for Long Shot and Clay. But anyway, Clay told me about this deal. And again, this is another rookie deal. This has been the year of the rookie for competitions for us. Not in shooting, but just in different classes or different sports within it. So we did the Night Force was the first one, which was probably, I wouldn't think, the beginning platform that we probably should have done it on. And then we did the one in Alaska a couple weeks ago, and then last week we were in somewhere in South Dakota. Ideal, South Dakota. Yeah.
Where the heck is that?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Right in the middle of the state. So we didn't start there though. You'll see on some of these pictures here that we started in Wall, which again I've never heard of Wall, South Dakota before. And it's actually the beginning of the Badlands in South Dakota, or they call it the window to the west. It's right before Black Hills and all that if you're coming from the east. So pretty cool. Wall Drug. I got tired of hearing that name. It was on every billboard all the way up there. Once we got up there, everybody was talking about Wall Drug, and that was the town. So I get it. Get there, and we go to the Salty Steer, which was really, the steaks there were phenomenal. Went there, and while we're sitting there, freaking baseball size hail come in and started pounding. And of course, we took my wife's car.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're sitting in there, and she's like, well, there goes my car. And, I mean, it was the biggest hail I'd ever seen. And we're downstairs in a 2-story restaurant, and you can hear it hitting the ceiling.
Wow.
Boom, boom, boom. Luckily, we got out there, and it wasn't but about, I say luckily, she wouldn't say luckily, but we got out there and had like 4 dents and then put a couple cracks in her windshield.
Ooh.
Yeah, she wasn't too happy about that. But anyway, we got there, and before we headed up, Clay had told me, he said, man, come up a day or two early, and we'll get together and we'll blast some prairie dogs. I was like, I hate prairie dogs.
We're well aware.
Yeah. So I was like, let's do this, So sure enough, we got up there, and the next day, you see the picture, we went, and that's why Megan was in her camo in that picture. We were just lightweight hunting clothing. She didn't want to get anything, if you know Megan, didn't want to get any of her clothes dirty or anything. So we went down there and blasted them in that, and shot prairie dogs for a couple of hours down there. And then we went and toured the Badlands, which was pretty cool. We saw all kind of stuff. They had some monster buffalo in there. They had, of course, the Badlands. And then Megan found a bighorn sheep. I say she found it. It pretty well found us. It was right on top of us. And she got some pretty cool pictures while we were out there. But I just made a trip out of it. Me and Megan used to travel a lot. If you knew us before we started Roaming Shot full time, when it was still just kind of a side gig, we hunted somewhere every month.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, we hunted something somewhere every month. My son went through, I don't know, a couple of years ago, and I didn't realize how many mounts we had in the house, but he went through and counted, and we had half the stuff was, and we still have a bunch of stuff at Chico's at Rutten and Strutton Taxidermy. I think he counted 64 mounts. So it was, for just some, young people, you know. Well, I say young. We were young when we were doing all that, but that was a fair amount of mounts. Kind of caught me off guard when he said it, and we still got a pile at Chico's. So, but anyway, so it was just nice for us. We haven't in 2.5 years got to go do anything together, and she wanted to shoot the competition. Jay, the guy who put it on, actually offered. He goes, "Is your wife going to shoot?" I said, "No, she's not going to shoot." And he said, "Well, my daughter, and she, Kaylee." I'm not saying that right. He said, "My daughter wanted to, and she's a pro, and you know she can take Megan on." And I was like, "Well, that's perfect." Haley, I knew I wasn't saying that right. Sorry, Haley.
So Haley was the pro.
Yeah, Haley was the pro, and Megan was the AM on that. So they brought. He said, "Bring your wife." I said, "Okay," you know. And I think Haley, I think she took third last year in King of 2 Mile. So this whole organization is tied with like the points off of this. You know, where it went for King of 2 Mile points.
So that's what it's called. The event is actually called King of 2 Mile.
No, this event wasn't. This one is
it's a qualifier.
On the shirt.
Yeah,
it's called the ELR
SO.
Lazy J Pro Am, and the Lazy J is the ranch that they held it on. So we shoot prairie dogs a couple of days, and we roll over there, and you know, and my pro is Clay from Long Shot Cameras. So we go over there and we beat Clay over there, and we just went ahead and zeroed our guns, and then we trued them, and everything was nice and pretty, you know. And we gave him some certificates that we've been given at a bunch of the events we've been going to, and it's just our 25% off actions. And then we had it at the one in Alaska, we gave away an action, and this event qualified us for King of 1 Mile, which is next month in Castle, Texas, which never even heard of that till the other day. So they're like, "Man, you need to come to it." And I said, I will. So we're going to give away an action there. So at the King of 1 Mile, we'll probably do the same at King of 2 Mile if they allow us. So, but anyway, got there and got all zeroed up, ready for the next day. Got there the next day and got in, and we drew. You draw each day positions. So I drew 5, and Megan drew 6. And so it was back to back, which was pretty cool because we were able to kind of give her the wins. This is the gun I shot for this one on the NRL, not the NRL, the Night Force deal. I shot the 6.5 PRC in the Vanquish chassis, and that's what Megan shot at this one. And we were hoping to have the bolt finished for this rifle for the 33 XC, and the bolt wasn't ready. We still had some design issues that we needed to fix on that, so it still wasn't ready. So I spun that barrel off, and I spun the 300 PRC barrel on. Carbon 6 was great with that. I called them, told them my issue, and I have an inventory, guys, of barrels at Carbon 6. They told me to do that a while back, so we keep an inventory. Roaming Shot has an inventory of 150 barrels of different lengths, different twists, different calibers at Carbon 6. So I was able to make a phone call, tell them, "Hey, look, I'm leaving next week. I'm leaving the following week." We just, on the way back from Night Force, I called them, said, "Look, I'm leaving next week. I've got to have, I need that 300 PRC barrel." Told them my predicament. They worked with me, got it done. And again, we have stuff in inventory. And if you buy stuff from us, it's in inventory. We can typically get it turned out in about a month because the barrels are there. They're ready to roll.
So tell me a little bit about, since we're starting on the barrel, let's start on the barrel. What are the specs on this barrel?
So this barrel is a 1 in 9. It's a 28 inch 1 in 9. It's not a straight taper, but it's 1.25 to I think a 1.2. I think is what they ended up doing it for me. So it's pretty close to. I mean, it is a straight taper. Excuse me. But it goes from 1.25, I think, to 1.20. The barrel really didn't have, you'll hear in the video that we're going to watch in a second, you'll hear a vom, vom. And I was like, what is that noise? And it was the spring in the box. I was like, is that barrel vibrating that much? But it wasn't. It was just a recoil from the knocking the spring in the mag.
In the mag.
Yeah. But so that's what we have on there. This one's not an ECM barrel yet. It will be when we replace it. It will be an ECM. electrochemically discharged barrel from carbon 6 or precision cut, McGowan, however you want to say it. You're a carbon 6 guy. How are y'all saying it?
It's ECM, so
right.
electric chemical machining.
Right.
So it's cathodes.
You're right. So
it's just like cut rifling, very similar, very similar. It's just it's using a cathode and electricity to cut the rifling in the barrel.
Right. And they can set the depth, the roughness. They haven't got the chambering yet, right? I don't think they started chambering with the cathode yet, but I know in the future they were going to. So they haven't got that program wrote, but they shoot great. I mean, that thing's a freaking laser beam. If it's wrong, it's because of me. And we played pig yesterday, and we had some pretty good wind out here yesterday. And I mean, I center punched everything I wanted to shoot with. I love shooting it. So, but anyway, 28-inch straight taper, 1.25 to 1.20, and it fits. It barely clears in this. This is a Matrix Pro, Masterpiece Arms Matrix Pro 2 chassis with all the weights you can put in it. It's got the B&T bipod, the Super Cal bipod.
Super Cal.
It's got the, of course, I put a Night Force on it. It's got the Area 419 rings, which typically I run the Night Force rings, but we ran these because I can put my timer and my level, my digital level, both mounted on there. So I've got a mount that goes on the other side so I can mount the level, but I had it configured once I got back. I didn't need the timer anymore. So,
and it looks like a straight. Is this a straight contour on this barrel?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, got a Trigger Tech Diamond,
two stage.
We ran our action in it, and you'll see in the video. People keep asking, how do we like the action? How does the action work? You'll see in this video. I mean, it runs flawless. It's slick. It's a 3-lug, 60-degree throw. 700 footprint, and we have this one. It comes with 20 MOA rails. We can do up to 40 MOA rails. So right now we just have them for the short action, just because we were testing them out. And Megan's gun has them with the 40 MOA on it, because I used it at Night Force. But they're on the short action, but the long I'll have them soon. And then again, on the chassis, man, on the Vanquish, I loved the Vanquish. The Matrix, again, absolutely love it. I love the adjustability of it. Day 2, I was able to use the rear adjustment. I used it at Night Force. Well, I locked mine in at Night Force, so I couldn't adjust it. It was always where it was. So on the bag rider, but I backed the screws out of it on this one, because it wasn't a huge change in target. And you'll see on day 1 on this one, I'll struggle a little bit with it. And so day 2, I loosened it, and that fixed that issue. I would just hit it, come down 2 clicks, and it was perfect.
Just enough to get you solid, right?
Yeah. Just enough to get you. Yeah. Because I mean, the whole key to this game is, I mean, all shooting is getting solid.
Right.
But, I mean, this one is, I mean, you want to be set up strong. So, adjusted it all out. Have it fit for me and my fat cheeks, so the cheek pieces, cheek wells all the way down, and the length of pull is just barely out on this one. So it's just because I'm laying prone. If I'm sitting up shooting bench, I'll back that length of pull out a little bit. But shooting prone, I had it in.
So what was the weight of this whole build right here?
It was either 26 pounds or 28 pounds. I don't remember.
Right.
So it was one of the two. This one weighed, the other one weighed 26. So, and this one was almost identical to the other one. So it's right around the same deal. It's either 26 or 28.
Yeah, because I know the Matrix Pro, isn't it lighter?
Yeah, it's a little bit lighter than the Vanquish.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the extension they have on both of these chassis for the bipod.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, and that bipod is rock solid, man. It's got a wide stance on it, and it comes up, plenty high. So I've learned on these events that we've been doing that I need to start high on my bipod.
Really?
Yeah. So because most of the targets start low and they go high, and then they may come back down a little bit. But I was fighting if I had it just set for the bottom one. that I was getting under the gun too much when I was going back up the hill.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And I caught on to that at Night Force, and I applied it to this one. So it worked perfect. Trigger pulls down to nothing. And I'm a single stage guy hunting. I've always been a single stage guy on the trigger. For the last couple, for Night Force and for this event, the Lazy J, I ran the Diamond 2-stage and love it because I can back up just to that wall right before I pull and snap it, and it sends it, and it's solid. Not a whole lot of movement on the Masterpiece arms. It's got the deal on the side of the trigger to make your finger at a 90 degrees, so you're not slapping or pulling, which I still managed to do.
I see that, yeah.
Yeah, and the Vanquish has it as well, so I really like that. When I went to Alaska and shot the NRL, I was back on the primary, and I was shooting Dwayne's. I didn't even bring a gun up there.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I swapped back to the primary and went to shoot it, and I was like, man, that's stiff. And then I went to adjust his trigger. I'm remembering this. I need to tell him, which he may see on this. I forgot to tell him, but I went to adjust his trigger out. I don't know if he Loctited that screw or what, but when I went to back it out, boom, snapped it. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So there was no more adjustment. And the screw's still in there, but there's no adjustment. Yeah, sorry about that, Dwayne. I'll just send you another one up. But anyway, I'm hooked on the Diamonds now, whether it's a single stage or a 2-stage. For competition, I will be on this 2-stage from here on out.
Yeah.
I just like it. You know when that's with the single stage, you know when it's going to break too, but you get that little bit of set in there.
It's just different.
Yeah, you just get up against that wall and you know, hey, this is going off now. As soon as I apply anything else, it's going off. So
yeah, you converted me. So
and I think this one's 1 or 1.2 on that trigger pull. I have to weigh it. Mm-hmm. I don't remember. I just set it to where I liked it, and I know it's well below 1.5 pounds where we normally set them. So anyway. So we get on the first day of shooting. I'm up, and you can play that little video. And we'll go. I got the video, huh?
Yep, you can play it on your phone real quick. And
Let me
put it on the screen here so everybody can see it.
Yeah. Let me get to it. So I'm not very technical savvy, so we'll do the best we can. All right, so the first day, get up, first round. We used my data and Clay's data, so I use applied ballistics on everything, and he uses a Kestrel, which has applied ballistics in it, but I don't use a Kestrel. I use applied ballistics on my phone, and it gives me everything right there. I can update everything I need. Only thing it doesn't give you is wind, which we read Mirage anyway. So I dropped the first round and picked up the next 4 on this.
Same hold.
And we get asked all the time how the actions are, how slick. Guys, you can see right here, they are funny. And,
it's so different on the chassis too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's different on the chassis than in the little stock and that little handheld display chassis we have. And so anyway, didn't clear it, dropped
right,
one. And then we get on the second stage and
ended up with .9.
pretty well, I think, duplicate the same thing. If I might have went 5 on this one. I don't remember.
So kind of explain to the newbies, because I have no idea how this type of competition or style, right?
Yeah,
how it goes.
So this right here, it's 3 targets. It's 5 shots per target, and then you're allowed a spotter, and then the AMs that you can have more than 1 spotter, but for the pros, you're allowed 1 spotter. There's 3 targets, 3 different distances, and then the next day is the next relay with the same thing, but the further targets. So I just shot the first one.
Just let me know when you're ready.
Then I'm working on the second one. Clay's behind me on the tripod, calling wind. Wind was pretty sporty the first day, and it died off some the second day. And then right before Megan shot, of course, it picked up and started blowing tents. But I like this setup because they have cameras downrange, and they have 2 cameras per target. That way, if one camera goes down, they got They have another backup camera, another one ready to roll. They both have microphones on them, so they can pick up the impacts.
Ooh.
And then they have a guy in a trailer watching a TV screen, and anytime there's an impact, he's hitting the bell. So we had a couple times we called impact and they didn't ring the bell. Well, somebody hit the frame or the bullet skipped into the target. So they can catch all that. So it's pretty neat. And then they have cameras in front of each shooter too, watching the shooter. So this right here was a camera on a little gimbal. So
impact. Oh, okay. I thought this was your phone.
Cool.
Yeah, this is
okay.
This
is your phone on this one.
It was actually Clay's phone right
8
here.
fours,
I got
what do
my
you
phone
have?
open to the data.
8.
So we split the difference between the two versus this Kestrel and my phone, and that's where it ended up being, was right in between the two. So, but it was closer on the last target, or his was dead on the last target. So we'll talk about the next day after this, but I was having trouble getting the right height on the bag.
Talk to me a little bit about the guys say you need to either have a Kestrel or don't have a Kestrel. I know it's a really hot topic in this sport.
Yeah, I mean,
what
like
are
I just said, I don't use a Kestrel at all. You know, I read Mirage and get wind off the Mirage reading, and then I use my phone, and that's it. So, and the reason why I don't use a Kestrel is, for one, it's so easy to use the phone. You know, and it picks up all the weather readings right there now.
Right. And I feel like you could easily make a mistake just pressing the wrong button on a Kestrel or something. But the same on the phone. Same on the phone too.
It's just, what your preference. But, but we were getting 2 different readings. Now, the second day, we said, look, you were closer on the Kestrel. On the first day, we're going to use the Kestrel. Well, then I shot the second day and was low on every one, and the Kestrel was off, and we pulled out my phone after the match, which I should have had it out during the match. I blame myself on that. And we could have been watching
verifying
the 2, verifying. And well, mine was right and his was off. Yeah. So why? We still hadn't figured that out. I don't know why his was off the second day and mine was on. But I think we ended up being like a mil off by the time we got out past the mile. So I dropped 2 shots on the mile and picked the other 3 up once we.
Now, was the wind kind of similar to Night Force where?
Yes.
Where you're shooting is totally different than what's out there.
We had a minimum of 2 different winds the whole day. Now,
wow. Yeah.
The closer wind was slower than 60%, which is where we like to read it. But, it was definitely different there. And it was different when you were on the hill, because the hill would say it was pointing straight right, and it may be coming at us, from the 10 o'clock position rather than the 9 o'clock, or maybe coming at us from 11:30 downrange versus 9 o'clock, where we were. So we were definitely getting several different winds in several different directions. So it was a learning experience. So, and it's long range, on this one, the last target, I think it went from 800 or almost 900 to like 1100, then 13, then 1475 or something, and then 15 or 1675, and then to 1875. So it was, and on the second day, I had more impacts on the last target than I did on the first target, but because we were dropping them, we knew, hey, we got to start higher. So pretty neat. And they scored on this one. They'd have birds land on the targets. So if they got splattered, they counted for 100 point per bird. I thought that was pretty funny. So, and their scoring's different. So at Night Force, it was hit and then move on. Once you got 2 shots per target, and even at the NRL Hunter, you had to have so many impacts and then moved, or whatever, impact and move.
Right.
Well, on this one, you had to shoot all 5 rounds per target. Yep. And then you moved. It didn't matter if you missed all of them or hit all of them. You had to hit them. So the first round impact, I still haven't got a scorecard to look at it to see, but the first round impact's worth the most points. So on the first day, even though I did great on the first day, I didn't do as good on the second day. And the first round impact at a mile or over a mile was almost worth more than all the points for the first day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was
the distance.
Yeah, the distance. So there's a matrix there. I don't know it. I will have it for the next one. So like I said, I got invited to King of 1 Mile, which is the same layout next month. So when I go to that one, I'll come back and I'll have more data. So I'm actually going to talk with Jay this week about some other stuff, and I'll see.
And you were telling me in this match, the king out there was the 33XC. Is what you saw a lot of.
Yeah.
Right?
So like I said, I'm shooting a 300 PRC, and and that thing was a hammer. It cut the wind great, and poor Megan, I had her on that, which I would have shot the 6.5 PRC.
It's doable.
Yeah, it's very doable for these targets.
Yeah, we
very
did it at Night Force. It's doable.
But saying that, I would lose her trace 2/3 of the way down. Almost.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
Yeah. And then I'd go on the 300 PRC. I was watching my own trace as it was coming in, but I would only pick it up about 3/4 because it knocked me off, and I'd get back on target real quick, and then I could watch it. But I got behind because, like I said, this was supposed to be a 33XC, just not ready yet. I got behind Clay and watched his 33XC, and it looked like a softball flying through the air. I could almost tell if it was an impact or not before the bullet even got to the target. You could see it all. I mean, it looked like a baseball.
Going down.
Yeah, like, well, there it is. You could not miss it. So as far as that goes, and then Clay, you see how slow I was shooting. You always want to shoot the same wind. So you get on there, you shoot, and you'll see that I picked up speed. Boom. Boom.
Yeah, once you find that hole, just send them.
Yeah, so Clay, I learned a lot from him. So whenever he got on there, and he made that first impact, and I called it, hey, center or whatever. He sent them. If that was the first round, the next 4 were coming. It was boom, 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 boom. I mean, it was a quick repetition. I was like, how's he even working to bolt that fast?
Yeah.
But he got on it, and it was
and
quick.
Just being steady fast. That's impressive.
Yeah. So then there's a pad that they use. There's a shooting pad that goes on the bipod goes on. So they're wanting to get everything to come straight back. So they all use mega brakes.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, there was only one other suppressor other than me and Megan's. The Zeiss team, one of their guys ran a suppressor, and I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was a Thunder Beast.
Yeah,
I'm not sure, but he shot.
And I guess dust is not really a factor because it looks like you're all laying on mats.
Yeah, they had it. So they had, like I said, it was set up nice. Okay, so we were on. They had covers over all shooting stations. They had 4 stations set up with one. So they had 5 tents, 1 tent in the middle for the officials, and then 2 on each side. So when I was done shooting, I was picking up brass and moving, and then it would be the 5th person was coming down to get on the mat. And then when that person was done. So, when you were done, it was get up and get out, let them get on the gun, and then you lay down and you watch the other people to see where they're impacting or missing, and kind of gives you
I was about to ask, can you get an idea watching people?
Yeah, so you can spot, man, there's 30 spotting scopes or more set up and watching. So you can get down, and, man, they were so great. The first day we got there, Jay, we went and set our tent up there, our roaming shot tent up, and they said, man, if, for the rookies, don't pull, you can leave your bolt out or whatever. Don't pull the trigger, but you can get down on the mat and find all the targets. And they let the amateurs do that. So we're like, heck yeah. So me and Megan got down there, and Megan got on and she found all her targets. And then the next day when we got there, we got the spot and scope out, found all the targets. We did that over and over until it was our time to come up, just to make sure transitions were good. And so
easy to find the targets.
Oh yeah, real easy. They're numbered.
Painted or not?
They're painted, and they go with a water line in them, so you can see where your hold is. So yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that, Adam.
Yeah.
Painted targets at this event.
Yeah. So yeah, there's no comparison between the Night Force and the NRL, and
totally different style.
Yeah, and the ELR SO. They're all 3 of them are very different. This one is a slower pace as far as there's no hiking. So
plus,
yeah, there's no hiking in it. No, which I don't care. But you're only shooting 1 stage a day.
Weight limit on these guns?
I think there is. I think it's 28 or 30 pounds.
Because I know some F class events apparently have weight limits.
It's in the F class,
right?
Yeah. So there is a weight restriction. I'll have to find out what it is.
Yeah.
And I have to weigh my gun.
Clearly, they didn't weigh yours.
No,
well, they saw the carbon barrel, and they're like, there ain't no way.
Yeah. I don't know. It may only be, because it is lighter than the Vanquish, so it probably is somewhere around 20, 26 or lighter. Because I know the Megan's gun was 26, so I know that one was 26. And actually, it was lighter because we had a Trijicon on there before we left, the Trijicon 10 mile, and we got up there, and she was having trouble, and she's always had trouble with the Trijicon 10 mile getting her sight picture. It kept blacking out on her. We're sitting there shooting prairie dogs. She's wanting to beat me to death with a gun. I can't get it. I can't believe you talked me into this, you know. And Clay had another NX8, and so we swapped out the NX8, re-zeroed it real quick, and then she went to plowing prairie dogs. So
sweet,
yeah, it was fun. But so she got set up, and actually I stole his scope. We got home, and I got to unloading stuff, and I text Clay. I said, "Man, I got your scope." They're in North Dakota on vacation. When I get back, I'll mail it to him. But
nice.
But yeah, so they didn't do any weigh-ins on this one on the Pro-Am. Did they the next day and the next day on the lightweight and on the heavyweight? They may have. I don't know. But we left. Like, as soon as they passed out awards, we came home. You know, so we'd be home for July 4th before dark, pop fireworks for the kids and stuff. So we were over. We got in the car at 3 o'clock that afternoon or 3:30 on July 3rd, and we were at my parents' house, you know, popping fireworks with them at like, I think 7.
I was about to say, that's a drive. How many hours is that?
It was, I think 21, 22 hours, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, we stopped. I was like, I'm just going to drive all through.
Can't.
No, I got to like Wichita, Kansas, and I was like, find us a room. So,
Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah. So the next day we get up and go to shoot, and man, my head's that big. I'm like, man, this is nothing. I shoot these targets all the time. It ain't gonna be nothing.
It's good to have confidence, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Makes you a little comfortable, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, I got down there. I was comfortable. I was like, this is gonna go great. You know, first round, boom, ting, impact.
Yeah.
Second round, like 10 feet short. Third round, like 10 feet short. I'm like, what is going on? You know, and so I make an adjustment. I think I end up picking up one round on the first one. And then I was like, dude, everything's low. He's like, everything looked good. I was like, yeah, everything's fine. I don't know what's going on. So get on the next target, same thing. I think the first and second one was low, and then I picked up a couple. I don't remember. I have to pull up the score sheet and look at it. I picked up a couple there, and then we got to the 1875, and I dialed, I think, a mil high, or no, I dialed 0.6 high from what it was, from the data we were getting, and I was still a little bit low. And I went up 2 more and was a little low, then went up 2 more, and then the next 3 were it picked up. I got all 3, the final 3 impacts, but it was too late. I'd done messed up, you know. So
what was the problem? Did you figure it out?
No, we never did. Mine was the applied ballistics on my phone was dead on, and on his phone it was on the Kestrel it was way off. So
this is the second day, right?
This is the second day.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And luckily Clay come back, picked up some rounds, but we still ended up, I think I ended up 8th overall, and like we ended up 7th in teams.
Okay. How many people were there total, roughly?
I think, I want to say it was 38-40.
Yeah.
Somewhere right around
So y'all
there.
did very well, especially for, this is the first time you've ever done this.
Yeah. First time I've ever done it.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, like I said, we did Night Force.
Right.
But again,
totally different ballpark.
Similar, but different.
Right.
Night Force is faster pace, you know, you get
finding
2 minutes,
targets,
8 rounds.
Different animal.
Yeah. And this was 9 minutes for this event. And I think the next event will be 8 minutes, but it's 9 minutes for 15 shots. So I did it all, both days. I did it in the first day I did it in like 5 minutes and 15 seconds. And then the next day it was like 6 minutes, I think, something like that. But plenty of time.
You get a better score if you do it faster, or no?
No.
So,
just, I can't, you know how I shoot. I can't, I'm quick on once I acquire the target, I'm just going to send it.
Yeah.
You know, so it was rapid fire. Not as fast as, like I said, Clay. Once Clay got on it, it was boom, boom, boom. I mean, it was impressive. So he was getting them down. And he impact. And on one of them, he was getting on that left edge, and I didn't even have time to correct it. You know, because he was sending them. Yeah. I was like, top left corner, and next shot was right off the top left corner. So I guess the wind let off on him. So, but great people, man. Everybody there was super friendly. The very tight knit group. They're all, good friends, and they all have a good time while they're there. Lazy J was a nice place. It's like they have basically a hotel. Their lodge is like a hotel.
Lodge. Yeah.
So you got room numbers and all like a hotel, and it looks like a hotel on that side. And then they have a big cafeteria area where they prepare all the food, chef kitchen and all.
Oh wow!
And in there they got lemonade and cookies all day. So I drink lemonade and ate cookies all day.
Yeah, where do you sign up for this event?
Totally
Sounds like a vacation for shooting.
It was. So man, it was a fine place. They're putting in a golf course.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah, they've got fishing, which we didn't do any fishing. They got pool tables. They got trap. They've got they got all kinds of stuff. They do pheasant hunting, which we had pheasants go under the mile target while we were out there shooting. So there was pheasants all over the second morning. So it was pretty cool. Deer, I think they do all kind of deer hunting and stuff. I know for a fact they do pheasant hunting because that was all over the walls and stuff there. So I would definitely go back and stay there and do that.
South Dakota, yeah.
Yep. Which I hunted there before, not this place, but right down the road and at the Larson Ranch, and that was a pretty cool place. We killed a pile of pheasants in a quick hurry, and they had a bunch at this place too. So, we put our booth up. We met with a bunch of people while we were out there, and got to talk about our actions, get to talk about our products, which was cool. Pretty good, pretty warm reception there on that. And then next up, coming up in 3 weeks, I think it is 3 weeks. New Mexico.
Yep.
So we've got Raton, New Mexico. We do the mile class out there. We go shoot prairie dogs and stuff.
Finally got our sign.
Yeah, they got our sign up, and loud and proud. We're proud of that. And part of that deal was we sponsored their kids camp, their youth camp, and we donated a rifle. And in doing that, they put our sign up. So getting tied in pretty good with them. Got some more stuff getting ready to pop up with the Whittington Center. We're going to start teaching another class out there, which is going to be our hunting class. I got to get them their curriculum. We met with them. Me and Chris met with Ashley and the executive director out there a couple weeks ago, and they were pretty fired up about what we're doing, what we're teaching, the curriculum that we teach, and they were excited to get moving forward on that. So this week, me and Chris are going to get the curriculum out to them and get all that, get everything fine tuned and what they want to add and stuff like that. But it's going to be pretty neat. We're going to do a hunting course out there, and they're going to actually have some pretty cool hunting positions. You'll be going in and be able to shoot different stuff. So we'll have a range day and then actually kind of a mock-up hunt. So which will be pretty cool. So pretty neat things happen at Roaming Shot. We're super proud and blessed to be doing this. Never thought this would I be doing. I hung gutter for 20 years of my life. And on houses, and over the last 10, 15 years, we morphed into doing this, and then a couple of years ago, we went full time with this. So it's pretty neat. I'm excited.
It's a change for everybody.
Oh yeah, everybody involved. So we got, like I said, we got the 1 mile class coming up, guys. You can go on our website, roamingshot.com, sign up on there, go to range and training if you want to check out the mile shoot. It's you come in one night, and then it's 3 full days of class, and then you leave out the 5th morning. The second day of the class, we'll actually be shooting prairie dogs. So we do some field exercises, and then we come back and shoot 22s out to 700 yards and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. And then the next day we get back at it and have a good time. So after that, we have the 1 mile, the King of 1 mile. Then the month after that, we'll have King of 2 mile, and then hunting season starts, and we're back on some kill videos. I can't wait. I'm ready. And hopefully in the midst of all that, we got a Cessna 172. Hope to have that thing back up and running and cutting some of these trips shorter. So it'll be nice. So,
heck yeah.
But I think I got everything covered on that.
I think that's it, man.
Bigger caliber is king in this one, up to a point. But yeah, bigger caliber is king. The 6.5 is doable, but it probably wouldn't go back and do it again with that. 300 PRC really for the out to King of 1 mile. If the 33 is not ready by then, I'll have no problem shooting at 300 again. I would rather shoot the 33 XC after watching it and this past weekend, but the 300's plenty to do. They had several people shooting the 300 Normas. One other thing they were doing for the majority of them out there were shooting the MOA.
You did say that, so that's why.
Yeah,
I'm just curious.
I'd never asked anybody, but it was funny because they asked me what I was shooting. And I said Mills, and they're like, we're MOA, which we did put Megan on MOA because we knew her partner was shooting MOA, and I was thinking Clay was shooting Mills, and I got there. I was like, well, it don't matter. I can do either one. We'll do it. He is, I have no problem calling it Mills either. So
you found your people.
Yeah. I like MOA. So Mills is good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I like the MOA. I like teaching the MOA. It's a little easier than going through all the tenths on it. But when you cut it down, you can finer, and I don't want to hear anything, Fritz. On the Mills, you can cut it down finer as far as making clearer calls on the tenths. So everybody understands foot and inches, with the MOA. But anyway, that's a topic for another time. But well, that's it. Heavy gun. The old carbon fiber did great.
the only two people with carbon fiber barrels.
We were the only two with carbon fiber.
How many heads did you turn on that one?
There had quite a few people looking at it. And the same thing at Night Force and all. Like carbon fiber.
But you placed,
really, guys.
But you placed in a respectable.
I didn't place, but I was in a respectable spot in the order. So I was happy with it. I was really happy with the first day results. I hate that I sucked so bad on the second day.
Man, but
the impacts were there. I mean, every impact was, the right and left was perfect. The wind we had right. It was all right there under the target. They just too short. So, but I love that Night Force, that ATACer. Again, didn't go over 25 power on it. Matter of fact, it's still set on 25. Looking at it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it has, I think, 35 or 37 on that scope, and never went over 25. So, but anyway, guys, got any questions? Write them in a comment. You gonna make fun of me? Write it in a comment. I'll laugh right there with you. I'm learning. Learning.
He cries. Yeah. He cries behind the screen.
Why do they pick on me? No, I'm not. I'm doing all this because I want to learn. I want to learn, and I want to be able to talk the language with the people that are doing that. We want to be able to fill the void between hunting seasons, and I just want to get out and, like I said, learn new things. So
it's always so cool. Always something new to learn.
Yep.
Learning something new every day.
Absolutely. So again, check us out, RomyShot.com. Come out here and shoot the range with us. Come do a mile class with us, or come shoot the Clay Pigeon Challenge. We do it once a month. Email me, ben5@RomyShot.com. We'd love to have you out. Again, check out the website, RomyShot.com.
And 22.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Final thing to cap with, I promise you I'll be done. Yeah. We're doing the 22 NRL out here. We've done it for 2 months in a row. Everybody seems to love it.
Once a month.
Yeah, once a month. So check out Practice Score. It's on Impact Scoring. Sorry, Impact Scoring. Check out Impact Scoring. You can sign up on there. They have I love the Impact Scoring because it has the live data on there.
Yeah,
and I went to church. What's that?
Yeah. You're in church for watching that.
Hold on, fool. So I'm at church. And as soon as church lets out, I picked it up because I was seeing how many stages they had left, and I saw you were sucking hind tit on that. Just so.
Super fun event.
Yeah. We got here, everybody's laughing and having a good time, and just we had a bunch. They were serious when they were shooting, but everybody seemed to enjoy themselves. So it was fun to watch. So that'll be next month on the 16th.
Yep.
It'll be a Saturday morning.
Saturday.
Yeah, it'll be a Saturday next month. So I might be able to shoot that one. So I'm at home. I'm going to church, but if it's on on a Saturday, I can work it out. That's it. So I'll suck at that one too. So we'll do a podcast on that one next go around. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day.